Well, first of all, thanks for coming. Obviously, we're all excited about getting started here, and we've been preparing here for probably a good 5 months. And obviously, you can see the snow outside there again, but we'll be out on dirt here going against some of the great competition at the Arizona Invitational. So we have a good group here, hardworking group, and we look forward to having a very successful season. I actually love where we were at last year once it was over. I think there was a lot of teachable moments there, and I think it actually has prepared us to definitely do things different this year, and I think that was needed. I think the way we have prepared, the way the players have prepared, the way they have worked to get themselves ready for this season, all comes from what kind of transpired from last year. I think we are a much better, strong unit together as a team. I think we're mentally tougher. I think we understand that there is failure to this game and how to overcome it a lot more. I think our players are ready to be challenged, and that's what this whole season's been about. So to me, it wasn't the season we wanted last year, but I think it did come at a great time for us to be getting ready for postseason. I think the players will tell you right here that they're very confident to move forward here with the start of this weekend. I think we did challenge them right from the get-go. I think we've given them more movement. We've made them get into failing situations and overcome that and understand that that is part of the game and part of the nature of it. To give them freedom to understand that it is okay to fail. This is a team that we can sit here and say maybe they didn't come through, but it's definitely I have a group of young ladies that put a lot of pressure on themselves, and the only thing they don't want to do is probably disappoint each other as team. And I think that actually becomes detrimental to us. And so for us, it's understanding that everybody has each other's back, and I think we have that atmosphere here right now. You know what? One, it's a very hard-working group. Two, I think we're very talented to move on into the conference tournament and make it there, and then still have an opportunity to win the conference. I think we're going to challenge them, which I think is the only thing that you can do right off the get-go. So if you've seen our record, or excuse me, our schedule, we're playing a number 1 team in the country, number 12 and number 13 in the first 2 weeks. But I think the only statement I would ever want to make to these guys is that we'd never back down from anybody, and these three right here are definitely players that would want that to play in that atmosphere, so I think that's what we've done. So the challenge is there right from the get-go, but it's also, if I'm going to be a coach who says, hey, our goal is to make it to regionals, I have to make sure they're going to be playing regional contenders, and that's what we've done with the schedule. We will play Arizona, who went to regionals, of course, Georgia, Florida, who was national champions, Kansas, Nebraska. All those teams are allowing these players to understand that these are teams that went to regionals, and if I'm sitting here asking them to get us there, I have to show them what they have to do to get there too. So
I feel like this has been something we've been building towards since day one that we've been here. So I can't really express the excitement for this season. It's kind of an overwhelming feeling. We finally get to be here and play postseason and go up against these teams. Like she said, we're really excited to go up against regional contenders and to make a name for Omaha in this way. It's our time to actually make some noise out there, so we're pretty pumped.
I personally am super excited to get outside and play on the dirt for a while. We've been in the dome and we've been preparing, and like Coach said, we're prepared. I think that we're ready, and she always makes fun of me. She always says I'm chomping at the bit, but I think everyone is. We're just kind of ready to go. I feel really good about our team and the way that we prepare every day. I think that we're just ready to go out and see some pitching and play in the dirt a little bit.
My freshman year to now, you can see the difference in the program growing, the university growing, overall athletics, everything. And it's finally our year that we can make some noise, get out there and do something. So we're just ready to get started and excited to get started.
I think these three, they buy into the program, what we've been trying to do here. These two have been with me for 3 years of transition. Lizzie, obviously, with the 2, and they have seen the growth, and they've been a big part of that. I think the beginning years, those first 3 years, it was a lot about making noise early in the season, and we would play the Oklahoma States, the Iowa, Nebraska, and these guys never backed down against any of those teams right from the get-go. And it was a neat experience, but it was also a situation where we were under the pressure of winning those big games early in the season because we didn't really have much to grow for at the end, I hate to say it. And this year, it's the first year where I feel like for me, there's a little weight off my shoulders a little bit because we're still going to play and compete against all these great teams, but the process is really about the growth, and we get to see our team grow throughout the year and understand that there is a bigger meaning at the end of the year. So these first weekends are exciting. You go out your first time on dirt, and you're just trying to learn from every moment of it instead of being disappointed that you didn't win and make the noise against the one time. We used to teach these guys that the time you play Kansas, the time you play Nebraska, the time you play Georgia, those are your championship games because they weren't going to be able to play for a championship. And now it's finally like these games they mean a lot, but it's about what we learn from them and how we grow. And so this is the first time in 4 years that I feel like I get to go back to being a championship coach where you're trying to build a program throughout the course of the year. And it's so important to look at those little steps along the way. And I think that's what's going to help us if we understand the process here. Yes. There's no doubt about it. I think what these guys said, they feel like they're prepared. I know when they say that, I think they truly believe that. There's a different purpose to each practice. There's a different purpose to each swing. There's a different drive. There's a different team building where you understand that it is about being unselfish right now. In the past, I'm not saying that any of our players are selfish because they were hard workers for us, but at the same time, you're always trying to get that hit, maybe even for you just for a little bit, but right now we all know it doesn't matter who gets it done. It's about getting it done at the end of the year now. And you can tell the atmosphere is completely different. It's exciting to be a part of that again. I guess we're going to look at it different now. You can spin it any way you want as a coach, right? But I think if you're trying to get to a regional tournament, I want them to already know they played against them because my plan is to be there. And so that's the only way I know how to coach is to plan on being at regionals. So I guess the strength of schedule early is our opportunity to do that. And so I'd rather have them know that they already saw some of these people instead of trying to make it where we're not going to get to see them during our conference time. But the other piece is this. One of the biggest, I think, advantages we've had this year that we've definitely used is having our assistant coach, Corey Peterman, pitch live batting practice to us. He's a men's fast pitch pitcher, and he's challenged them tremendously. But I think the purpose of it really is kind of the same thing of scheduling strong. We feel like actually the more times we see him now, it's easier for us to see him, or easier for us to hit. And the purpose of that was the same thing. With us seeing Arizona, with us seeing Florida, I have so much respect for our conference right now that I want to actually raise the level of our players right up from the get-go so that they understand that that's what they're going to have to play when they see the NDSUs. NDSU is even ranked in the top 30 as well. So for us to beat them, if that's my team that I got to be and beat, that is I got to show them who we have to face kind of ahead of time. So I'm okay with the strength of schedule right from the get-go.
Like Lizzie said, I see no reason why we shouldn't be winning our conference championship. I think there's some great teams in our conference, and that's not downplaying our conferences. That's saying how much I believe in my team and how much I think that we're fighters. And I think us seeing this competition early on is really going to prepare us mentally and physically. And I honestly just I believe that we have the team that can take us all the way this year. So,
kind of like Coach said, I mean, you asked the question, is there, now that we can take that next step, is there a different drive in the players? And it comes from all 15 of us. We're way more mentally stronger, way more physically stronger. There's a lot more heart going out there now that we can go on. We do want to go on, and we will go on. So.
You know what? We've been pretty fortunate with people wanting to get on our schedule too. I think it was within our second year Georgia was asking to play us. So we felt really good about that, and I think Omaha, we did make a name for ourselves pretty quick. As soon as I think it was these guys' freshman year, we were already beating Oklahoma State, and that was one of our big first, I guess if you want to call it Power 5 wins. We did beat Nebraska during our time through this. Iowa State, we beat them twice, at their place. And so I feel like it's actually hard to get the home games. When I'm trying to ask for University of Iowa to step on over here, they don't really reply so fast. So, but that's okay. We try to even go their way sometimes, and sometimes you don't get that yes either. But I think with us having a decent RPI for the most of our time here through the transition, I think that's helped us.